Hello everybody, Suzanne Kellner-Zinck, usually from Dawning Visions Hypnosis, but today I'm here to talk about a very special research study that I am working very diligently to get funded before I'm done with my prerequisites for my doctoral program. This research study is to empirically test a training I developed in a Master's of Instructional Design and Technology, Master's of Science program at the University of Arizona Global Campus. So it's a very rigorous training, to say the least, based on adult learning theory, etc. The point of the training is to be able to train state-licensed mental health providers who specialize in the treatment of anorexics and bulimics to see if they can emulate the same success that my clients received in the 25 years that I've been treating such patients, or in my case, clients. And we have some other research questions around the ideas of how well these particular clients take to hypnosis. They are generally really good at hypnosis because they're in the hypnotic state when they're doing their self-harming behaviors. So we're just using that natural state that they're so talented and gifted at to help them heal, which is why it works really well for them. So this came about because back in 2005, when I worked with the first 3 eating disorder clients, and I wasn't looking for them, by the way, they just found me because they wanted an alternative way to heal. They were very upset with the treatment that they received from the conventional mental health eating disorder treatment centers, both inpatient and outpatient, that they had all been to. In one case, 3 different ones, 1 outpatient and 2 inpatients. I think the other ones were in inpatients. And because I was willing to listen to them and learn from them what they needed in order to heal, they helped me to develop this really great healing protocol, which I was then able to put into this training, I guess it's a training program for state licensed mental health providers who have very different ideas in terms of what can be done to help these patients, because you have to understand that conventional mental health so far doesn't believe that these people can actually be healed and live forever without these eating disorders. My clients have proven otherwise, and I'd love to be able to share this knowledge with many others, but it really does need to be empirically tested. And to do that, I have to get a research study done at an academic institution in the correct way, and I would love it to last the 2 years that it takes, because on average, about 2 years is the length of time it takes for these patients to relapse, or let's say they'll relapse within 2 years after treatment. The other really sad thing about this is that on average, their parents are spending between $30,000 and $50,000 a month for 6 months average, which comes out to $180,000 to $300,000 for treatment that doesn't help them, and in all too many cases ends up killing them, as we lose 52 eating disorder patients a day internationally. Pretty sad statistics. It is the #1 killer of those aged between 12 and 24. And for the males, they don't have very many options to even get help, because there's no beds for them to get treatment. And if there are beds for them, they're in inappropriate places for them to actually receive the help they need. And as far as I'm concerned, these folks need to be treated individually, not together in groups, because they're really good at learning from one another how to starve themselves even quicker. We know this for years and years, and yet they still do this group stuff. It's ridiculous. And then you go online into the social media, and there's actually been some apps that have been shut down because of this negative influence that these patients have on each other, go into these applications and social media to learn the tricks on how they can be sicker and sicker so they can be thinner and thinner, because in their eyes, they have to be really thin because their body dysmorphia tells them they're fat. So this is a huge problem. So with this in mind, I'd really appreciate any help that those of you who might have been negatively affected by losing someone really close to you to anorexia or bulimia, or maybe you're just interested in this cause because there's not enough research into this, considering the really huge devastation that is causing and has always caused, quite frankly. It's time for it to stop, for us to have realistic treatment methods so that these people can heal. I thank you for your time and attention, and I hope that you'll see the merits of this research and be willing to help out. Thank you very much.